Now coming to asexual reproduction in plants or vegetative reproduction. We have again examples to read. Here it is different, that is we have something called as vegetative propagules. These vegetative propagules are those parts of the plants which are going to develop into a new plant altogether. That is, we have rhizome of ginger, runner, offset, bulb, tuber, and sucker. And we have buds also. Okay, when we say bulb, we have bulbil of agave. So the bulb portion of the agave plant has the capacity to give rise to a new plant altogether. We have adventitious buds or leaf buds of bryophyllum, offset of hyacinth, tuber of potato, rhizome of ginger, and we have another example of banana. So here what happens in tuber of potato, suppose if this is potato, you have eyes emerging from the potato tuber, and this can give rise to a new plant. Then when we say bryophyllum, if this is the bryophyllum leaf, okay, we have the adventitious buds arising from the margins. So this has the capacity to give rise to a whole new plant body. Next we have water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is called as terror of Bengal, basically for its beautiful flowers and shape of leaves. This water hyacinth was introduced, and this is the offset. This is also called as terror of Bengal. This is an invasive weed. It can grow so invasively that it drains oxygen out of aquatic body, and then it leads to the death of other aquatic organisms like fish, etc. So it is very difficult to get rid of it, and that is why the name invasive weed or terror of Bengal. Fine. We have something called as fragmentation. So this fragmentation basically refers to a part of an organism breaking off or getting fragmented, and then each fragment growing into a new organism. So this is basically asexual reproduction only. Okay, buds of Hydra. So what happens in Hydra? There is a portion of the body extending, and this is going to become bud, and later it gets fragmented. So this fragmentation is considered a type of asexual reproduction only. Now we have to understand how is asexual reproduction happening in plants. Where are these vegetative propagules of plants coming from? When we say plants, they have stem. Stem is divided into nodes and internode. So these are all actually called as nodes, and the part of the stem between two nodes is called as internode. So we have to understand that these vegetative propagules arise from the node portion of the modified stem of the plants. We have tuber of potato, basically from the modified stem portion of the plant body, that is to be specific at the nodes the eyes of the tuber is going to come, and they have the capacity to give rise to a whole new plant altogether. So you have to know that potato, banana, ginger, sugarcane, dahlia. All these are going to produce asexually, and this is commercially exploited. This is very important. Why? Because when we say commercial exploitation, this means that anybody who is a plant grower, he is going to make use of these vegetative propagules. If anybody is making use of vegetative propagules for commercially growing of these plants, it is being renamed in NCERT as commercial exploitation. The thing to remember is we studied tuber of potato, offset of water hyacinth, bulbil of agave. All of these can be in fact asked as the parts of the plant body used for commercial exploitation by the plant growers or the gardeners. Fine. So to be summarizing it, vegetative propagules are parts of the plant body having the capacity to give rise to a new plant altogether. They are usually present in plants with modified stem. Modified stems have node. From the nodes of the plant with modified stem, vegetative propagules arise. What are the examples of vegetative propagules? We have rhizome of ginger, banana, runner, offset, bulbil, offset of water hyacinth, bulbil of agave, tuber of potato, sucker, and buds, leaf buds of bryophyllum. These are vegetative propagules, and these are the plants where these respective vegetative propagules are seen. These vegetative propagules are commercially exploited. By who? They are commercially exploited by the plant growers or the gardeners. Knowing the plants that reproduce asexually and the part of the plant body having the capacity to give rise to a whole new plant, that is the vegetative propagules, becomes very important because questions can be asked on it. We will be writing the W.H. Whitaker's classification again, which we have studied in the second chapter of 11th. We have Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia or animals. Animals and plants reproduce sexually. Monerans and protists reproduce asexually. Fungi, algae, they are going to reproduce sexually all the time. But during unfavorable condition, they are going to reproduce asexually. Okay, this is the last statement given in NCERT about asexual reproduction, and it is something to know. Now coming to sexual reproduction, we have sexual reproduction in the chapter being divided into three parts. That is, we have introduction to sexual reproduction, then sexual reproduction is divided into three stages. The first one being pre-fertilization, second being fertilization, third post-fertilization. So we will be looking at sexual reproduction this way, that whatever the events that happens before fertilization we shall study here, and the events that happen during fertilization or events happening after fertilization we study under post fertilization heading. So these are the four parts into which sexual reproduction has been divided, and we shall be looking it in the next video. Thank you.